Babe, I can't believe we are really going to meet. Gabby said in her sexy Latina voice. I loved when she called me babe. We had met online in a chat room about 16 months ago. As time passed, we exchanged phone numbers and began talking almost daily. We talked about all kinds of things but never mentioned meeting each other. That all changed about 3 weeks ago when I heard her laugh. Her husband had almost caught her talking with me. She hung up quickly. Within 5 minutes she called me back. She said he almost caught her. Then she laughed the most seductive laugh I have ever heard. I knew right then I had to be with her. I know, Gabs. I am so looking forward to hearing your sexy laugh in person. She laughed again. Oh yeah, she definitely seduced me with her laugh. Really, babe? We are going to meet? Yeah. I mean, if you want to. Oh yes. I was hoping you would ask to meet me. Then it's a date. Daniel. I'm so excited. Me too, Gabs. It will be fantastic. We found a date that was suitable for both of us. The plane tickets were purchased and I found us a romantic hotel on the beach. I couldn't wait to meet my angel. Our chats had become increasing in the past few months. We both knew what each other was thinking. And now in less than 5 days I was hoping all of what we intimated at would become a reality. She was 9 years younger than me and Latina, both of which aroused me. She had long black hair and the most beautiful dark brown eyes I had ever seen. Tall and slim with a cocoa-colored skin. Gabby truly was an angel to me. The days passed and soon it was time to head to the airport for our rendezvous. I would fly from Pittsburgh and arrive in Orlando a few hours before her. Her flight from Mexico was to Houston and then on to Orlando. Luckily, I had an appointment in Florida that allowed me the opportunity to make the trip without arousing my wife's suspicions. After arriving at the airport, I called Gabriella to let her know I was about to head off for our long-awaited meeting. She was at her cousin's home in Houston when I called her. We both were excited as we talked about soon being together. I can't wait to be with you, she said anxiously. Oh, that sexy Latina accent got me every time. To be with me. I loved how that sounded. She didn't say meet me. She said to be with me. I got chills as I imagined the possibilities. I'll be waiting for you at the gate in Orlando, Gabs. I couldn't rest at all on the flight down. My mind just kept imagining all sorts of things. Should I really be doing this? I mean, we are both married. Is this crazy? Yeah, it was crazy, but I so wanted to be with Gabriella. I arrived in Orlando 3 hours ahead of her. I rented a car for us and loaded my luggage in it. Then making my way back to the terminal, I awaited Gabby's arrival. The time seemed to go by so slowly. And then, I heard them announce her plane had arrived. I stood where I could watch all the passengers come into the terminal. Since I had never met Gabby in person, I was hoping I would recognize her among all the other women on the plane. I didn't have to worry. There she was. Her smile was even sexier than in her pictures. My God, she was beautiful. Her long black hair seemed to float around her head as she headed towards me. We almost ran to meet each other. She dropped her bags and put her arms around me. Now that was some hello kiss. I thought to myself. I finally had her in my arms. It was an incredible feeling. I didn't want to ever let her go. I think she felt the same way because we just hugged and kissed for several moments. Babe. That was all she said as our lips parted. She didn't have to say any more. I totally agreed with her. We held hands as we made our way to the tram. After boarding, we talked and gazed into each other's eyes as we headed to baggage claim. We arrived at the luggage pickup. As we waited for her bags to arrive, we kissed again. Finally her bags arrived and we made our way anxiously to the car. There were far fewer people in the garage than at the luggage pickup. Again we engaged in a kiss. We even referred to it in our future conversations as the kiss. I held her tight as our hearts gradually slowed their pounding beat. "You are even more beautiful than I had imagined, Gabs." She smiled and kissed me softly as I opened the car door for her. We managed to hold our emotions in check on the drive to Cocoa Beach. We talked more and I don't even remember much of what we said. I loved her accent. We arrived at the hotel and checked in. I had rented a penthouse suite for us. It was the only room on the top floor and it afforded not only privacy, but a bit more luxury than the normal rooms. Upon entering the room we both noticed the incredible ocean view from both the living room and the bedroom. It had an enormous king-sized poster bed. The setting was very romantic. Off the bedroom was a large bathroom with a jacuzzi tub. "This is perfect," Gabriella said as she pulled me closer. We didn't bother to unpack. We were both starving. So we headed off to a small restaurant overlooking the ocean. It was late in the evening so it wasn't very busy. Our table was in a corner with a great view of the ocean. I have no idea what we ate or what we talked about. All I can remember is how beautiful Gabby looked in the ambient light of the restaurant. Her eyes sparkled as she talked. We held hands and walked along the beach on our way back to the penthouse. Gabby remarked how well our hands fit together. As we entered the penthouse, the moonlight was cascading through the windows. We walked through the living room and into the bedroom. Before I could say anything, Gabby pushed me. She laughed as she jumped onto the bed. "I hope you don't mind, babe, but I've wanted this for so long I don't want to wait any longer. Can you guess what happens next?" I looked into Gabriella's eyes. She was so beautiful. And the look on her face at that moment was one that I will never forget. Her eyes were half open, her lips slightly parted and the most sensual, "I want you" look I had ever seen. She held her hands out to me. I grabbed her hands and she pulled me farther. Her eyes were closed as her breathing slowed to normal. My heart still was beating fast as I closed my eyes. I smiled to myself, knowing we had 7 more nights together.